Good morning, YouTube. It is 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas, and we are doing another epoxy bowl project, kind of similar to last week, but even cooler. And I did this back in July, and I can't even remember how long ago I did it, but I'm doing the commentary in September. We're using black diamond again, just like we did in last week's bowl. We're doing a red pigment with a purple pigment, and let me tell you, if you saw the thumbnail, this is going to turn out absolutely great. And it looks absolutely awesome, so I'm super excited about getting this one started because last week's bowl was good, but this one is a little bit better, even though I think I did this bowl before I did the one I did last week. So a lot of jumping around. I've got all of these back cataloged back and forth, so trying to keep up with it is very difficult. So here we are mixing up the purple and the red. I think this is red. It said red on the package. It might be orange. It looks a little bit more orangey, but nonetheless, it still looks absolutely fantastic. So got these all mixed up, and now we're doing the epoxy pour, which is one of the cooler portions of this entire project. And we're just getting a feel, a little bit more red, a little bit more purple, letting it kind of swirl in together, but not too much. And then just getting to the top of the bowl, making sure that we've got it nice and covered where we put all the waste block and all that good stuff. So it is super late. It's midnight when we're starting this project because, yeah, sometimes you just gotta, work odd hours when you're making great stuff. So here we are, 4.5 hours in the pressure pot, got it all mixed up. In the mold itself, it looks absolutely stunning. I love it so far, love the swirl. You can see, however, there is already a crack in it, which kind of gave me a little bit of hesitation, but overall, really happy the way it mixed. At least I knew if it wasn't going to be great, it looked cool in the beginning. So here it is out of the mold. You can see all the cool colors, the way the purple and the reds just mix. It looks like a nebula from outer space. It looks absolutely fabulous. And minus that giant waste block in the middle, it's going to turn out pretty good, but I'm sure it's going to give me some problems. And I haven't watched this edit all the way through, so I'm sure there's going to be some surprises even for me. So here we are. Unlike the last week's bowl, we got it all the way to the top, so this is going to be a larger bowl versus the one we did prior. So here we are, just getting everything screwed on, got the faceplate going. Everything's going relatively well. Still using that Ryobi drill because, hey, I don't poo-poo on Ryobi on this channel. So then we're just going to mount it on here. You can see this is a lot bigger than our previous one that we did last week. Give it a little spin. You can see it's a little oblong and uneven right there, but it's gonna turn out okay. So here we are, just taking off that superficial layer, just like we do with all of our other bowl projects. And from what I can remember, I didn't have a lot of issues, but like I said, I haven't seen the complete edit of this one because it's been several months since I've done these projects. So I'm gonna be surprised just as much as you are. But just like everything else on the channel, we do show failure. I do show all the bumps and bruises that kind of go with making these projects. So I'm sure there'll be some surprises that'll jog my memory a little bit, and I apologize for all the ribbons that are coming off of it that are kind of like shadowing the camera there, but it's always a good thing when you're getting good ribbons, especially in a larger epoxy project. When you're not getting ribbons and you're getting that glass sand type of stuff coming off, that's usually when you know that there's a problem. But overall, really happy with the superficial portions of it. Now we're just rounding out the bottom, getting everything nice and done, and now we're just going to go ahead and make the mortise so we can get that reversed on the chuck and start the gouging portion. And you guys all know how I feel about that. So once we did that, now we're just getting the size of it. Not trying to go too big or too wide or too in depth, but once you get a nice fit for it, it's like a glove. You just want to make sure that it's secure enough to the chuck. So now we're just getting the corner lip of that done. This is usually when I kind of tense up a little bit because I get a lot of chip out on the edges a lot of the time. Doing that and taking off that superficial layer of epoxy so we can start the actual gouging process. You can see the top of my head there. It's always, always in the way, obviously. And if you haven't noticed, this is in the old garage or the old workspace that I had. By now, you guys are watching this in January of 2022. So I've already moved into the new house and I got the new workspace set up and everything. And I'm putting out sporadic projects here and there that we've been doing in the new space. But on to this one. So the bowl blank itself, the waste block was just purely pine. So didn't have a lot of issues pushing through it. went relatively well from what I can remember, because it's going relatively easy at this portion of it, because I'm not getting a lot of chip out. There's not a lot of chatter on the chisels. So now we're just working the side edges of it and making sure that we're getting to a nice depth and that the lips of the bowl are to the size that I want. And I've said this several times before in other projects, I like the lips of the bowl to be fairly thin. I think the thicker ones make it seem, it's kind of, it takes away from the aesthetic of the bowl in my opinion. But on this one, I don't remember having a lot of issues with it. So you can see all the good ribbons that are shooting onto the side of the wall there. We're getting a lot of that on the face shield as well. But overall, this portion went relatively easy from what I'm remembering and what I'm seeing in the video. And the best part of this, however, is the sanding, because even though I hate sanding, it still makes the bowl look way, way fantastic. So there you are, you know, watching me just get hit in the face with all those cool shavings and ribbons. That's how you know the epoxy setup really, really nice, because when it's not doing that is when there's obviously a problem. So we're pretty much almost to the depth that I want it by this point, and we're just working the side edges of the bowl, trying to get that outer portion of it to the depth that we want. So here we are at the end. The gouging portion is done, and you can see all of these beautiful ribbons scattered across the workbench and on the floor, just simply everywhere. And this is pre-sanding, so you can already see all the cool colors that we're getting. You can see the blue, the kind of marbling that's with it, the oranges, the reds, the purples, and kind of a mixture of a blue in there. So got everything cleaned up on the workbench for the most part, and now we're starting the sanding portion of it, going all the way from 380 all the way up to 1500, and then we're going to come back and hit it with a micro mesh like we usually do. Sanding takes forever, so I don't show a lot of that. You guys all know that. And you saw a little bit of my shoulder there. So this is the wet sanding portion of it, nearly done and completed, and it looks absolutely stunning. Love the way this thing turned out, minus that giant waste block on the bottom, but don't worry, I have remedied that. So you're going to start seeing some videos in 2022 in February where that's not going to be an issue, or hopefully not an issue. So now we're just taking that wood wax, polishing it up real nice and neat, and you can see the just beautiful shine on this thing. Looks absolutely gorgeous. And I again did this at midnight, got done around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, so you weren't able to see the good sunshine, you know, pouring through it. But absolutely stunning bowl. Didn't have a lot of issues with it. Looks absolutely amazing. Really happy the way this turned out. So hope you guys are having a good 2022 so far. This one, absolute banger. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Here it is a little bit closer. That diamond pigment looks absolutely amazing. Highly recommend that stuff. So hope you guys like the project. If you guys aren't subscribed, go ahead, hit subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff that every other YouTuber, woodworker on the planet tells you. But overall, really loved how this one turned out. Absolute banger. One of my most favorite projects. So here it is at the end. Again, this was in the middle of the night, so couldn't show you the way the sun pours through it, but absolutely love it. So hope you guys loved it as well, and I'll see you guys in the next project. So check it out later. Peace. Good early morning. It is 2:15 in the morning, and we are done with this project. It turned out absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, my light. What the hell? Hold on. Time out. Okay, we're back up. Sorry. Okay, I was like, what the hell happened? But anyway, so project's finished, and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. Look at the swirl in this thing. So it's late night. It is July 20th, 2021. You guys are probably not going to watch this until September. Good Lord, I'm having all kinds of problems. Probably not going to watch this until January or February of next year. But wow, man, I'm gonna do one without this pine piece. I have developed as a design, or I figured out how to do this without the pine. So I get a lot of comments sometimes about, well, you're putting too much pine, it kind of takes away. And you're absolutely right, it does. But man, look at how cool this looks. I'm gonna do another project. I'm gonna do this again, and it's just gonna be strictly epoxy. I only put the waste block in there just to save on epoxy because it's kind of pricey, but even though the brand I use isn't that expensive. But wow, look at how cool this looks. I hope everybody's having a good early 2022. Like I said, it's July. This is the last few projects I'm doing in this workspace, and I'll be moving into my new house By the time you watch this, I'm well established in my new house already. But anyway, I'm rambling. Hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next project. All right, peace.